You know that moment when you're sitting at your desk, you check your bank account, and you just pause for a second because something doesn't add up? You're making six figures. You worked for it. You finally got there, and yet, somehow, you still feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, your rent is due, your credit card statement looks aggressive, and you're thinking, wait, wasn't $100,000 supposed to fix everything? Look, here's the uncomfortable truth. For a huge number of people, $100,000 doesn't create financial freedom. It creates financial confusion. And today, I want to break down exactly why that happens. Because it's not just about spending too much money. It's about 6 hidden financial forces quietly draining that income before you even realize it. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. My name is Mojo, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually behaves in the real world, not just on paper. If you're someone who feels like no matter how much you earn, you're never actually getting ahead financially, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now, here's the thing. Most people think the problem is simple. If I just earned more, I'd finally be okay. But what most people don't realize is that income and financial comfort are not the same thing. And $100,000? That number has been psychologically marketed as success, but financially, it's often just the beginning of a much more complex game. Let's break it down. First, we need to understand what $100,000 actually means, because here's what most people don't realize. $100,000 is not $100,000. Depending on your country, taxes, and deductions, you're realistically taking home somewhere around $70,000 to $75,000 per year. Let's be conservative and say $72,000 after tax. Monthly income, $6,000. Weekly income, $1,385. Now pause for a second, because in your mind, $100K feels huge. But in cash flow reality, you're working with about $6,000 a month to survive modern life. And that's where everything starts to break, because life doesn't charge you annually, it charges you monthly. And this is where the 6 hidden expenses come in. Here's what most people don't realize. The moment you hit higher income levels, you don't just keep more money. You enter a system where you feel richer, but your marginal gains shrink. In many places, when you combine federal tax, state tax, and payroll deductions, you can easily lose 25% to 35% of your income. So that $100K, it's already closer to $70K. But psychologically, your brain still thinks, I make 6 figures, I can afford things. And that's where behavior starts to shift. You upgrade without realizing it. You justify spending because your identity changed, even if your bank account didn't fully catch up. This is what behavioral economists call income illusion bias. You feel richer faster than you actually become richer. And that mismatch is the first silent drain. Look, nobody plans to overspend on cars. It just happens. At $100K income, you start thinking, I should probably drive something reliable, maybe newer, maybe nicer. And suddenly, car payments, insurance, fuel, maintenance, and parking. According to global auto cost studies, owning a car can easily cost $8,000 to $12,000 per year, and much more if financed. Let's be conservative, $10,000 a year. Now add that to housing. Housing, $30,000. Car, $10,000. You're already at $40,000 gone, and we haven't even talked about food or lifestyle yet. Here's the psychological trap. A car doesn't feel like an expense every day. It feels like a fixed achievement, so you stop questioning it. But financially, it's one of the biggest silent wealth killers in middle-income earners. This is where things get really interesting, because once your income crosses a certain point, your relationship with time changes. You stop thinking, how can I save money on food? And start thinking, how can I save time? That shift is expensive. Food delivery, takeout, coffee runs, quick snacks, individually, small, collectively, dangerous. Let's break it down. Coffee, $5 times 20 days equals $100 a month. Takeout lunches, $15 times 20 equals $300 a month. Dinner deliveries, $25 times 12 equals $300 a month. That's easily $700 per month, or $8,400 per year. And the crazy part? You don't feel it, because it's fragmented spending. This is what most people don't realize. Small convenience decisions are financially silent, but cumulatively massive. And psychologically, they're driven by one thing: fatigue-based decision-making. Let's add it all up. Now let's zoom out. Annual take-home income, $72,000. Expenses, housing, $30,000. Transportation, $10,000. Food and convenience, $8,400. Subscriptions, $2,000. Social pressure, $4,200. Total, $54,600. That leaves you with $17,400 per year, or $1,450 per month. Now here's the uncomfortable part. That remaining money has to cover emergencies, savings, investments, unexpected expenses, health costs, and debt repayment. So when people say, I make 100K and I still feel broke, this is why. The psychological trap. Now you might be thinking, okay Mojo, but I'm not even spending that much. And here's the thing, you probably are, but not consciously, because these 6 expenses don't feel like expenses. They feel like normal life, convenience, identity, stability, and belonging. And that's what makes them so powerful. They bypass logic and go straight to behavior. Here's what most people don't realize. Financial stress at 100K income is rarely about income. It's about leakage you can't see. And until you see it clearly, you'll keep thinking, I just need to earn more. But in reality, what you need first is control, not more income. Let's make this practical. Here are 5 immediate steps. 1. Track everything for 30 days. Not forever, just 30 days. Awareness changes behavior fast. 2. Fix housing ceiling. Decide a strict percentage limit, ideally under 30 to 35%. 3. Audit subscriptions monthly. Cancel anything you don't actively use. 4. Set a convenience budget. Don't eliminate it, cap it. 5. Social spending rule. Decide your monthly social budget in advance, not in the moment. Look, $100,000 is still a strong income, but it is not a shield against bad financial systems, and it is definitely not immunity from lifestyle inflation. The truth is simple. If your expenses scale with your income automatically, you will never feel rich, no matter what you earn. But if you control the leaks, even 100K becomes powerful, because it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. If this video made you rethink how money is actually flowing in your life, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which of these 6 expenses surprised you the most. And remember, most people don't need more money. They need fewer invisible ways of losing it.